Heyo!
And welcome to the We Be Simpin' podcast.
Because we be simping.
Yeah, episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
But first off, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We know that we're good.
We know that we're good.
But does the audience know that we're good? To what extent?
Yeah, doing good. I might have broke my toe yesterday, but I'm good.
How'd you break your toe?
I dropped a 7.5 pound weight on it.
And why were you carrying a 7.5 pound weight on it? Or why were you carrying a 7.5 pound weight?
So, at first I had a couple other weights. They were like these round ones. They were stacked up outside by the umbrella. And it was getting a little windy, and the umbrella was sort of moving around. So, I was moving those weights onto the base of the umbrella. But the 7.5 pound weight was like underneath this. Boy, how heavy was that one? Might be like a 15 pound weight I was holding. It was like stuck to the bottom and I didn't notice it. And as I was moving it over, it came up with the ghost and fell onto my foot.
Ouch.
And luckily I was wearing a boot. But they're old boots and they're not the sturdiest in the toes anymore. And my toe has been hurting ever since.
And how's it this morning? Still in pain?
Oh yeah, I can't put weight on it.
Yeah, you probably bruised it.
I mean, you could see a bruise last night, but you can hardly see it now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're not showing, for audience listeners, if you're watching the video, we're not showing a foot.
Yeah, no.
We don't need it. We don't need to be on Feedopedia or WikiFeet.
Just put up a picture of a crying witch or something.
Yeah. No.
Let my toe.
But other than just physical pain, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna be lazy today. Keep my foot up.
Yeah, that's what you're doing right now. You're on the table right now with your foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll make sure you're not moving around today.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, just wanted to check in. How you doing?
Well, how about you? Anything new?
No, I've been fine. Just editing and working and playing Schedule 1.
You've been addicted to that game.
Yeah, since I bought it.
Yeah, well, you've been like watching YouTube videos.
Just to know how to get the best Wii. So for those who don't know, Schedule 1 is a video game that's just kind of popped up on PC, and it's basically a drug simulator game where you make drugs and you sell drugs, and that is about it. But there's just something with like it's not like a insane premise, but just like the routine of the game just feels very like Goblin Brain for me, where I'm just like, okay, I can just do this, and this, and it's a nice like podcast game too. I was listening to a podcast while I was just making weed and hanging and like giving out weed and getting weed to my dealers and getting money from my dealers. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's just like a little nice like. Don't think about it too much, even though you are thinking about it too much. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Or you just
I've been there with stuff. I mean, we used to listen to a podcast while playing Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, this is like the same thing. I know you're. It's just these simulator games that are just like kind of just like itching.
They're perfect for multitasking.
Yeah, very multitasking and just kind of just getting me into a sense of just like, oh, I'm accomplishing something, especially in simulators like that. So. But yeah, that's just been my life for a little bit. So, yeah, but enough about games and our life. We would talk about what our topic is today.
The spring lineup of anime 2025.
Man, the dogs are very excited about it.
We're not going to talk about every anime.
No, so we wanted to highlight just our favorite anime that's out for the spring of 2025. We're not watching everything.
Yeah, so what I want to say, like, we have not seen Windbreakers yet, or season 2. We've seen the first season. We have not watched Aharon-san yet, and we have not seen the Dark Elf Yandere yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have seen Apothecary Diaries, which is continuing on from the winter lineup. I will say, it's perfection. Alright. You all know that by now. So, we're gonna move on to other animes.
Yeah, we want to focus on the newest ones that are popped up in this spring lineup, rather than talk about season 2s or continuations. So I think that's a good way to just highlight the ones that we've been watching that are just bangers.
Yeah.
Tell us our opinion. Like, we're not watching, like, Fire Force is coming out, that came out this spring. We're not watching that, but obviously that's a continuation as well. But, you know, just the ones that we thought that were very, very interesting to us.
We watched a handful of anime.
And we really want to tell you guys how great they are.
Yeah.
At least in our own ways.
Sort of on the fence, maybe.
Now, I don't have it by list or in order, but I'm just gonna go down. I have a list. So let's just start with the first one, and I think it's a good way to start it off. Anne Shirley.
Anne Shirley.
Now, I want to read the description of what I found over on Crunchyroll.com. /anime lineup. There'll be a description down in the link below. You guys can check it out. But they have a whole entire list, and we're mostly watching it, you know, everything on Crunchyroll. There are some exceptions to, you know, High Dive, but again, we have not watched some of those options as well. So we're gonna just stick with the
have so much time.
Yeah, we're just two white ass couple.
We're just a white ass couple.
And we can't do everything all at once, okay?
Right.
So Anne Shirley, which is a book, right? Like a novel?
It's a classic book, Anne of Green Gables.
Mm-hmm. So she's a spirited orphan, and is it Annie or Annie?
It's Anne with an E.
With an E. I can't specify that enough. Finds love, friendship, and true home at Green Gables in this heartwarming coming-of-age tale. And that is the description that Crunchyroll gave us. And I'm going to let you start off with Anne Shirley, because...
First I love how spirited Anne Shirley is. She's how imaginative she is. But I want to say the art, the animation and everything is just beautiful. It's a bit Ghibli-esque, wouldn't you say?
Very Ghibli.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's just something so comforting about that. A bit nostalgic feeling, perhaps.
It definitely has those nostalgic feelings where just... Like, Anne, with an E, is very outspoken.
I love it.
And it's during, what's the time frame on this?
I think it's around, like, the 1880s or early 1900s. Around that span.
Feels like Little House on the Prairie-esque, you know? Like, a little bit like that, but, and it's in Canada, which I did not know.
Isn't it like, Prince Edward Isle or something?
Yeah, I did not know that. So, like, this is my first time experiencing Anne Shirley.
I did not know the story. It's what I've been interested in reading, since I have several classic novels already. But once they mentioned that they're on Prince Edward Island, or Isle, whatever, I was like, oh, Canada.
Canada. No, it's really good. Like, the first 2 episodes has sold me, and I really like her, you know, her outspoken nature, her imagination, as she says in the show, where she just has this like bombastic imagination on just the world around her, and it's just so nice. And it's like it's opening up other people's imagination around her, you know, and just opening them up, because they're just living day to day. But then, like, you know, when she's speaking. And she speaks a lot. She has a lot to say. Talkative. She honestly just doesn't shut up, which is not bad. I mean, there's always characters you always meet, and it's like, oh man, in anime or just in any genre, really, it's like, just shut up. But not her, because she's the main character, and you get to have somebody that's like has this kind of personality.
Well, it's not just because she's the main character, but what she says is so interesting, and it's coming from her heart. Everything just seems to be coming from her heart when she talks. Like, even, like, she could see something as simple as a pond and turn it into the lake of shining waters.
Yeah, or the pink flowers that they come across in the first episode, which was, what'd she call it? Something passing, like the...
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I don't remember.
Because I think originally they just called it the Abbey or something, or some kind of
and then
term.
she's like, "Oh, that's not an interesting name."
Yeah, she just like makes up her own, and then like obviously the people around her now are kind of somewhat referring or understand what she's talking about. Like, oh yeah, that place.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, I just love it. And we're only 2 episodes in. I don't know how many episodes there were in at this time. I didn't do my due diligence there and figure that out. But this is slowly going up there as like probably top 3 as my spring.
Oh yeah.
Just at least from what we've seen so far and the quality of it, and I'm hoping we like it sticks to that formula. Are you looking it up right now as I riff?
So I believe.
Because I would imagine it'd be like 10 or 12, right? 10 or 12 episodes for the series.
So there's another series, apparently it aired in the 70s, that has like 50 episodes. But
Jeez.
here it's saying that it might have 24. Let me double check.
Okay, if Anne Shirley gets 24 episodes, that would be great. Because I'm loving what they have so far, and I'm hoping they just
I know Anna Green Gables is like a series of books.
Well, I'm hoping they also age her up later.
24.
24? Oh my god, that is so nice to hear. 24 episodes of Anne Shirley. I'm hoping they show, because I think there's a visual poster, and I think she looks older.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm hoping they
do. They
do.
might just cover her whole story, do you think?
Or they age her up a bit later. I don't know. Do a time jump.
I don't know the books or anything. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to just dive into something, and it's nice to see that like something like this can get animated and just like get shown from literature like this.
Oh yeah, that's
like
amazing. They're not just sticking to light novels.
Yeah, and like they can just choose something that's like somebody wrote, so many years ago. And
heck, I think that'd be great. I would love to see other like classics get an anime series.
And currently we're watching in sub. It's going to be dubbed soon, so we're probably going to be we'll be watching it again in sub. We
tend to watch both.
But how sub works is like the first 2 or 3 weeks is going to be sub.
Yeah.
And then once the dub comes out, which is they're usually like 2 weeks behind at that point. So So maybe next week is probably when we're going to get the dub. I mean, when this comes out, it'll probably be a little outdated, but
this will totally be outdated.
But yeah, we probably have dug in quite a bit more episodes at that point. So anything else you want to say about Anne Shirley?
No, since we have a lot of other anime to cover, let's try to keep it short and sweet.
All right, yeah, it's short and sweet. Check out Anne Shirley, guys.
Check it out.
All right, next one I have on the list, and I'll just and I forget the full title. I think I have it written down right here. Can a boy-girl friendship survive? I'm going to read the description real quick. Bound by friendship, a girl falls for her best friend who reunites with his first crush. Can she convey her newfound feelings? Now, this is the typical trope of like slice of life, high school.
Definitely slice of life rom-com.
Very funny. I like it.
It is funny. Likeable characters.
Very likable.
Plus.
Yeah. And we're dealing with obviously they're best friends. I have a girl and a guy, and like obviously they've been friends, and they're like, oh man, we'll never find anybody, and we'll get married at 30 or when we're all 30 and stuff like that.
If we're still single at 30, let's get married.
And then they just throw in like a triangle, and
a typical love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess what's interesting for teenagers, love triangles.
I have no problem with it, honestly. It's better than a harem, let me remind you.
I think, especially at least in us Western cultures, love triangles are so overdone.
I don't think this one's that bad, honestly.
No, so far it's interesting, and I think the main chickie just needs to be honest with herself.
Yeah, because
I forgot her name.
That's like the one thing I find annoying sometimes, where I'm like, can you guys just talk? Can we just talk about this?
Be honest with yourself.
I mean, she's not there yet. Obviously, we're only in the second episode, so she's...
You can see it.
It's there. It's there, but she's not admitting it.
Yeah. And she's gonna drag it out. Not be true to her own feelings and whatnot, trying to be considerate of his or the other girl's feelings. And but no, it's like, come on. Be honest with yourself.
No. The premise of it is the main guy, and I can't remember all these names by heart, but unless they're that memorable for me. But the main guy like makes jewelry accessories for women and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's really beautiful.
And he loves making jewelry, and that's what he does in his spare time. And they met in like middle school, and she decides to help him out and sell some stuff, and so she kind of becomes his model for him for all his stuff that he
/ salesperson.
Yeah, so it's really nice. And then obviously he meets his first crush that fell in love with his jewelry at a younger age, and obviously they met when they were younger in a botanical garden and stuff.
Episode 2 spoilers.
Episode 2 spoilers, sorry. But yeah, I'm liking it so far, and then I'm like, well, we're gonna see this, like, I'm hoping to see some rivalry, like the two girls finally being like, oh, I have feelings for this guy. Obviously the first
May
crush
the best lady win.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's like I'm excited to see. I think that's where it's going, and I think I'm all for that.
I would definitely be down for that.
So at first it's acting like a triangle, but I'm thinking it's going to be more of like who can woo him first,
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any concept of romance.
Yeah, I don't think he's even thinking about that right now.
He doesn't, and I'm hoping he starts realizing that too. So they're all great characters.
Oh yeah, every one of them's likable.
So check that one out, and I think the original title for this show is like, can a boy and girl friendship survive? And it's like, in quotations, like, it cannot. So I wish they kept that, but like the English translation.
That's a bit of a spoiler though.
I guess so, but I don't know. I'm a sucker for longer titles sometimes when they're like ridiculous.
Titles. I was telling my mom the other day about like the light novel I was reading. It has a long title.
You don't know what it's called?
No,
Do you have it? Is it Seventh Time Loop?
Yeah, Seventh Time Loop. Let me read the full title for you.
Oh, yeah, well, you love Seventh Time Loop. You've been reading the manga, the light novels.
Yeah. Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. I was like, that's one of the shorter, long titles.
Hey, you got into that series when we watched the anime that came out a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool premise. But anyway, aside from long titles, that was boy-girl friendship. Do you have anything you want to say more about that?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, next one that I have on my list is Once Upon a Witch's Death.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to read the description from Crunchyroll.
Go ahead.
On her 17th birthday, apprentice witch Meg must gather 1,000 tears of joy to break a deadly curse and gain eternal life. Now, I'm going to let you start with this one because I really love it.
It's already tugging at our heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Did you cry already?
I've already cried.
You cried.
It was episode 2. I was almost there with episode 1. But 2 really got me by the end. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So obviously what I read in the description was like, yeah, you have this witch apprentice who has a year left to live, and
she needs to collect 1,000.
1,000
tears of happiness, right?
Yes. Happiness? Yeah. And so she basically has to help out just random people, and with any problem that they have, whether it's mostly emotional at this point.
Yeah, it's very, a lot of it's a bit sad, it seems.
It's very sad, and
so the tears aren't like pure joy.
It's like grief, and
it's the mixture of happiness and grief.
So that's the one thing I'm like, did she already fuck up with some of these tears?
I was like, will these tears be passable?
But the stories are great so far, and we're only in 2 episodes.
And I got the first light novel. It's currently free on Amazon.
Oh, perfect.
I think because a lot of series will do that, especially indie series. They'll give you the first book free if they have like this huge big.
And then
series.
you buy the rest.
So it's to like hook you.
Well, I'm definitely hooked by the premise.
I'm hooked by the anime alone, and now I'm like really wanting to check out the novel.
The pilot alone just like kind of gets you right in. It's like
it does.
It's like, hey, you're dead in a year.
And does the one lady? Oh, I can't think of her. I can't think of anybody's names right now.
It's okay. Is it the master?
Yeah, the master. She looks like what's her name from Spirited Away? Who runs the bathhouse?
I don't know. It's the madame. The madame.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Yabba, and Yaba.
Yaba Baba. The emotional stories is what is probably going to hook me. But again, I'm hoping not all of them involve death.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, I'm hoping not every teardrop is going to be like a death thing. Because it's like, she's getting these grief tears of joy, or whatever you want to call them. And I don't know if they're counting. And she only has 4 by the time we're, as we're talking about this right now.
I'm guessing if the bottle is catching him, maybe it does count.
That's what I'm thinking.
So maybe it's enough.
But 1,000!
But maybe she won't be, like, immortal.
I'm hoping enough where she doesn't die. She has some kind of curse on her where she's just like, oh, you're going to die in a year if you don't...
And it's apparently been on her for a while, and the mistress did not tell her because she knew she wouldn't do a thing about it.
And so she thought, hey, you have a year left.
All right.
Which I'm like,
that should be plenty of time to collect 1,000 teardrops of happiness.
I think they did the math with one of her familiars, and it was like, how many would it take? 3 a day.
3 a day.
And she's not even doing that.
She spent a couple weeks with just one person.
Just for one.
I'm like, oh, she's gonna have to get like mass groups to cry. Tears of happiness.
Get the whole town and masses just to cry over her.
Yeah.
But again, it's very emotional with its story, at least the stories that they've been telling so far. So I'm really interested to see where they're going to go and see if they can spice it up and it's not just involving death. Again, I guess that's a spoiler. There's death involved in this show.
Well, yeah, you get it from the very first episode. You get it in the very first sentence. You're going to die.
But just like the messaging for like some of the stories that she's trying to like.
But I think
the tears.
Those are definitely ones that will provide tears.
Definitely tears.
And, who wouldn't cry in those kind of situations?
That's true. So I'm very interested to see more of that. Do you have any more you want to say about Once Upon a Witch's Death?
Nah, it's amazing. Love it. Highly recommend, especially if you like witches in short time frames. You like to crunch.
That second episode balled me by the end. Yeah, and you needed a tissue. Yeah. You needed a tissue too.
It's leaking.
It's a good series when we can freaking like cry so much. Okay, our next one. And let me just close the curtains real quick.
Oh, I thought we were putting that near the end.
You want me? I don't have this in order. Do you want me to say this one?
Let's save that one.
Okay, wow. I just teased somebody. I just teased all you people. So never mind. I'll skip that one.
I wrote it like
at the bottom.
Last, yeah.
Okay.
We could be like, hey, if you're not into this, it's about 1 o'clock on out.
Okay. Then we'll leave the not safe for work one last.
Yeah.
The beginning after the end is the next one. Then a king is reborn as Arthur Lewin in a magical world and seeks to correct the mistakes of his past life. By the way, awesome title. Love the beginning after the end. I don't know why that's such a cool title to me. But the premise of it is basically, from their little to known description, is that there is so it starts off in this like futuristic like sci-fi world with this like malevolent king who has conquered the whole world and stuff, and he just dies one day and gets reincarnated as this baby in another world. So basically an isekai. I mean, it is an isekai. And now he's basically just kind of like learning the lessons that he did when he was a king in his previous life, and now
learning how this world works too,
learning how this
different,
very different, but he's understanding it little by little, and he's growing up, and he's like, I think at the moment he's like 4 years old, and it's a manhwa, which is really cool, or I think like a webcomic of some sort.
Okay.
So it's nice to see
green.
that. Yeah. I was very interested in this because we're on the high of, Solo Leveling coming out, and that's like the standard for what a manhwa could be, and like just being adapted into an anime adaptation. So I was very interested on this one just because I heard really good things about it from the books. I've only read the first chapter and I wasn't hooked. Yeah. But again, when we watched the first episode, I was very, I was more intrigued because they covered more from past the chapter I read. So I was like, oh, okay. And then where we leave off in the second episode, I'm more and more intrigued. So animation style, I do want to point out that the animation for this anime is lacking a little bit, little lazy to the point of like Household Husband.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a little low budget.
It's a little low budget. A lot of still frames just moving a little bit here and there. It's like I'm literally reading the book, but it's just a little animated, and it's a little disappointing. But I'm gonna try to look past that to kind of give a couple more episodes a try. But I think it's an interesting premise from what it is. You know, it's a sort of like Jobless reincarnation to an extent. You know, minus a couple the character's personality, but you know, it's in that vein. You know, where what Jobless was, you know, with him being reincarnated as a baby. So I'm very interested to see this take on an isekai. Do you have anything you want to say about beginning?
I was going to say it's very interesting. Similarities to Mushoku Tensei and poorly done action scenes. So you pretty much covered it all.
I'm sorry. I just had a lot to say about that one.
Yeah, you did.
That one's actually, like, it was so high for me on this list, but then, like, it's slowly been going down because of the other animes we've been watching. So I don't know. We won't have a ranking, obviously, but, like, it's going down the bottom of the barrel for me. But I'm hoping it can redeem itself after, you know, a couple more episodes for me. So I'm not dropping it, and I know you're not dropping it, but just want to let you know that's something to expect. So beginning after the end, check that one out, guys, if you guys want.
If you're interesting.
All right, next one that I have on the list is the Shuinji Family Children. Now, the description they gave me on Crunchyroll is not as convenient. But I'm going to read it anyway. The unconventional romantic comedy begins for one young man from the creator of Rent-a-Girlfriend. That is all they gave me.
I think that gives you enough information.
Well, okay, this one is like, I'm a little bit more intrigued on this one, but the premise is that there's this family of 7 children, in a wealthy family. Or at least the father is very wealthy. So they've grown up under a wealthy family, you know, name and everything. And they're all, you know, very brotherly and sisterly to each other. But then on the youngest daughter's birthday, who's 15, the father announces that they're all not related and they're all not bound by blood. And so now, at this point, it's probably going to start blossoming as a relationships, and I know that kind of goes into territories of incest, and that's not something I really like, but I'm just interested to see where it goes, because one, we've watched Rent-a-Girlfriend. We've watched all 3 seasons so far. 4th season's coming up very, very soon, and I don't know. This seems way more interesting than Rent-a-Girlfriend for me. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I have, like, even though they're not related, you still grow up together like siblings, so it's still gross.
It is gross.
And what the hell? But I will say, the thing that makes Rent-a-Girlfriend sort of fun for me.
Oh, okay, so this is a reverse, okay.
Is, like, in the English dub, Alex Lee.
Okay, you got Alex Lee as a...
He got some free reign with this script, and I think he does great. Do I like his character? No.
He's bad.
But I do think it makes for some amusing content.
Okay.
This Shunji family?
Shunji Family Children, yes.
Yeah. I mean, so far, I'm willing to write it out. But, like, it's already gotten off on a weird foot. Like,
yeah,
the youngest, like, ending, spoiler, clinging to her brother naked in a bathroom.
Yeah,
he's dressed, but she's like, can't let him go now that she knows they're not related.
Hook, line, and sinker.
It's like, come on, girl.
I'm gonna give it a couple more episodes to see.
Too soon.
Very too soon. But I am gonna give it a couple more episodes.
Just a bunch of horny teenagers under one roof.
That is true. And what I like is that two of them are guys, 5 of them are girls. 2 of them are related, actually. Like, they're actually twins. But so they obviously can't go that far and stuff. I'm just hoping it's not a harem, but it's looking like that.
They talked about one guy's love life, so it could be harem-esque.
We'll see.
It seemed like all the girls were thinking about the one brother.
And you would think it'd be like the other brother too, but it's like, oh man.
Maybe the other brother could be part of that harem. interested in the guy.
So that means this would be on the top of your list. Boy Love. Okay. Well, we'll see.
That makes it so much more interesting. Okay.
This is obviously bottom of the barrel for me too, but just because it is trash and I don't like incestual things, even though they're not related by blood. I understand, but they grew up for like 15 years together, so it's like you guys are family, okay? And even at the beginning, the oldest person's like, it doesn't change anything. We're all family here. I'm like, yes, please keep that mindset going forward, and nobody else diverge.
Yeah.
But of course, this wouldn't be an anime without some plot, so of course that's going to diverge completely. So
yeah.
we're gonna watch a little bit more to see what we think about it. Maybe do a follow up, but we may follow up on things that we drop, maybe. And I'm not saying this is one of them, but we'll see. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a couple. I always give it the 3 episode mark.
You made me watch the entirety of the first season of Girlfriend.
And we never watched the second season, so what does that say?
Guy. I wanted to check this out.
You know what's better than Girlfriend? What? 100 Girlfriends is better than Girlfriend.
Absolutely. That one's so much more interesting. And I actually like the male lead.
And all the girls.
Yeah, all the girls would be great. But we're not talking about that. Next anime!
Okay, yeah, next one I have on the list. And this is sort of in vein of a pseudo-sequel, but I'm just going to say it anyway because I think it's separate, is My Hero Academia Vigilantes.
Oh, yes.
Now, this is a spin-off to the My Hero Academia series, made by an entirely different creator, I think, that worked with the author or the original creator.
Okay.
So it's way before, I wouldn't say way before, but it is before the events of the first season.
Because you have All Might as, like, the number one hero ever, right?
So, yeah, and it takes place with some new characters that we've never met before, and there's some, recurring cameos with people that we've met in the original series of My Hero Academia, and I'm enjoying it so far. We're 2 episodes in, and I'm loving what they're doing so far with these with the characters. I think what I like
Have you really watched 2 episodes?
No, actually, you're right. We're only on 1. Yeah, they just started last week. Sorry.
I was like, I only remember 1.
Yeah, sorry. We've only watched 1 episode. But, it's just more My Hero Academia. I love the world of My Hero Academia just because it's like this world of, obviously, people that just have these abilities, and most of everyone has them. And, it can vary between, obviously, what those people are. And I just find that so interesting in a world of, like, just superheroes and villains, and then like people are just like who are just common people that have these quirks, quote unquote powers. So it's just more My Hero Academia, and I really love My Hero Academia. Without the academia. So it's weird calling it My Hero Academia Vigilantes, or I think in the Japanese it's called Illegals. Yeah, Illegals. But yeah, it's just more of the My Hero Academia universe, and I don't really have any more to say other than I've never read the spinoff. So, and it's like very short. It's like 80 chapters long, so it's a very short series. So, and it's nice that the Studio Bones, who made the original My Hero Academia run, and they are closely wrapping up the series of My Hero Academia at the end of this year in October, with the final season. That they got to do this as a little side project and do more My Hero Academia. I'm sure they love the universe, and as you can clearly see, they love it so much that they're willing to do 7+ seasons of it in 4 movies. Yeah. So it probably makes a lot of bang for them. So again, just more My Hero Academia, and I love that. So anything you want to say about Vigilantes?
Oh, so far, I'm Oshidari. Which means interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my favorite character so far is Knuckle Dusters.
You love Knuckle Dusters?
Yeah.
I thought you would have loved the pop one, the pop girl.
I mean, she's fine.
But Knuckle Dusters as his like...
Hell yeah! He's badass!
I love his first... Okay, because we're going to talk about the first episodes. We have been talking about first episodes on these things, but just like his entrance of him falling into the...
That was the moment where I realized I liked him.
He fell into like a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, didn't stick the landing, but at least it was soft. It was really funny. So,
yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it?
All right, you covered it.
I know, I usually do. So, but it's really good. It's just more My Hero Academia.
Once we watch more of it, maybe I'll have more to say because it's only the first episode, and
yeah, and it's
really setting up the whole vigilante. thing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that take of like these elite, like literally like people that are not certified as heroes, because the whole premise, to be a hero you had to go through school and stuff, and that's kind of like what you learned in the original
series. You gotta
series.
have a license.
And a license, and so these people are doing it
without a license.
under the table and in the back alley corners of the world, and so I'm like, that's very interesting to see in the same universe.
Yeah.
So,
but it totally makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
It makes have vigilantes in our own world. So.
Exactly. So I think that's it's a really nice premise of it, and I'm interested to see where that goes, and I'm hoping there's some emotional stake, because there's a lot of emotional beats in the original of My Hero Academia that I really love, and it just gets me welling up with just who Deku is, all these people that you've met along the way. So, and just seeing cameos is nice, but I'm like, I want to know these new people. I want to know what makes Knuckle Duster tick, Crawler tick, the Pop Girl tick. I don't know her title again, or it's like Pop something.
Yeah, I don't
Pop Star or whatever. So very interested to see how those people work, and if we'll meet new characters along the way, but it's probably going to be more of a glorified cameos here and there. But I get it, because it's like it's before My Hero Academia. You got All Might. Who doesn't love All Might? Who doesn't love Eraserhead?
I love Eraserhead.
Present Mike is great. He's basically the narrator sometimes when he narrates the quirks. Yeah. That's Present Mike in this whole series. So it's really cool to see, and maybe some dead characters that come back is going to be really interesting.
Because they're not dead yet.
Yeah, they're not dead. So it's just nice. More My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it. All right. On to the next one, which is one of my highlights. Is To Be Hero X.
Oh.
Now, the description doesn't give me much, but I'm just going to read it anyway. Trust equals power. Heroes soar or crash by public faith. To be X means conquering humanity's fickle whims. We watched this on a whim, actually.
We did.
Just looked at it, looked at the premise. Did not even look at a trailer. So I was very surprised when we watched it. Of the animation.
Oh, yeah.
The animation is insane.
Some of it reminded me of Arcane.
Yes, Arcane, or like Spider-Verse, some of that.
Yeah.
Sort of that.
Sort of that.
More Arcane stuff.
Arcane.
But my God, is this the most visually stunning anime?
Yeah.
This season. Probably in a while.
wee bit jaw-dropping, too.
Yeah, you were hooked.
Oh yeah.
So so the premise of it is essentially like these heroes that they go by the like social status and popularity.
The more people believe in you and put their trust in you, the more you become a hero and whatnot. Then it molds your powers and everything.
Yeah, I find that really interesting with like how the masses determine who's popular or not, and then what their powers should be. So it's just all based on social media and stuff. And I was like, that's such an interesting take on a world with heroes and maybe villains, to the point of what people perceive them as, and then you don't get to be who you want to be, but the masses tell you who you should be.
Right.
And I find that so interesting. And
they really explored that more in the second episode.
Oh yeah, that second episode was great with it deals with somebody else that's tied to the main character and
who doesn't want to be.
And doesn't want to be and wants to be free, and is just tied down to the main character, but the masses want basically shut them. They're basically these people would be great together, and they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that, and I want to be free, and I don't want to be tied down to you, and but their powers are tied down to them, and I just find that so interesting. And in order to, I'd be going to spoiler territory, so I'm just gonna stop right there. But you talk more about it.
It's now having seen the second episode and everything. What the fuck was up with the ending of the first episode?
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah, and what was that about?
It must have been a nightmare. Obviously, when we see the second episode, it's maybe a premonition, like you were saying.
That's what I thought, but now things are different.
Very different. So I'm
not sure how that's going to play back into the show.
I just hope they don't ignore that.
I hope not too.
I don't want to spoil. I think everyone should watch this. The visuals are insane. They change art styles every 5 minutes.
Artistic looking shows. If you love heroes and like, I don't know.
Should we give them like the brief like description of what happens in the first episode, or should we just let them be on?
I say let them. Okay, but maybe you should give like a little bit of a brief description.
Essentially, we start off with a hero named Nice, and he's basically like this Superman-esque style, you know, all in white costume, and everyone loves him.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. You start off with a market media person who gets shot down of this idea
and gets fired
on the spot, and he's on the roof, and I think he's at this point thinking that everything's over and he might even jump himself, but then he meets Nice, and Nice falls off the building and kills himself.
He walks off
the building and kills himself, so basically suicide.
It's exactly suicide.
And so he sees him die, and obviously he's like the manager of Nice, like, is up there with all the bodyguards at that point. Is like, what happened to Nice? And then they interrogate him, and then they realize, oh wait, you look kind of like him. So they basically,
you look kind of nice.
So they essentially put him in Nice's outfit, and he basically is playing a fake hero, but obviously with the media telling you who you should be, he has all the abilities of Nice. He's becoming Nice over and over, and this is like first 5 minutes of the fucking show. It's insane. This is up there. This is probably my number one right now on the list. Please watch this. It's like a Chinese studio and everything too. Do you have anything else you want to say about To Be a Hero?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, we're moving on from that one.
Excellent.
Please watch that one, I beg you. My second favorite thing is coming up next, and it is Witch Watch.
Wow.
I'm going to read the description again. Morihito, Otogi's friend and a witch in training, Nico Wakatsuki, moves in. Now it's up to him to protect her. That is the description, but a little bit more backstory to that one is that the main character is an ogre, which is like he has like the blood of an ogre or something like that. He has ogre-like powers.
It's in his lineage.
It's his lineage. So he's still human. He looks human. He's not like this big beefy man. He's just a boy who has ogre powers. And his best friend is this, well, I guess best friend or just
childhood friend.
Yeah, childhood friend is a witch in training. She comes back, a couple years later when she's a little older in high school.
That was like a few years later.
A few years, and
they seemed like they were still in the single digits.
Maybe so. So maybe it's been like a decade.
Yeah.
Or so.
Several years at least.
So she comes back and basically is like now moved in with him, and he has to protect her because of some kind of prophecy to like her dying or something. So
like a terrible accident or something is going to befall her.
That's like the basic serious premise of the show, but in reality, this is fucking hilarious.
It is so much fun. The humor is top notch.
Yeah, and then her powers are so funny to use.
I love like the making things lighter and doing that on people, and then after the spell wears off, they feel heavy, and that their emotions are on the heavy side.
I love that. That was such a cool... So I love that her spells kind of have like a side effect to it, too. It's like... But like... And another one in the first episode is she turns herself into paper. And then she just flies away with the wind. And so he has to go and save her. It's so funny. The comedy is top notch. The opening... The opening is amazing. I don't know if you were going to mention that.
That's probably my favorite opening of the season.
Do you have any more about Witch Watch you want to say? I mean, like, it's funny. It's the funniest anime I've watched in a while, like since Konosuba, maybe.
Yeah, Konosuba makes me laugh out loud, and this one, it's not often, like, when funny animes will make me laugh out loud, but this one got me laughing.
Yeah, and it's totally up your alley. I mean, it's a witch,
I love witches.
And I love how funny it is, and I can't wait to meet more characters because we're only one episode in, but like there's a new episode today at the time of this recording, so we're gonna watch it.
So we're gonna watch that,
yeah, we're gonna watch that later. But I'm excited to see more. The intro again, the intro's amazing. We have that on repeat now throughout the days.
Yeah, Yoasobi.
Yoasobi just can't make a bad song.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like she or them made obviously Oshinoko's Idol.
They made the
Beastars
for Frieren.
Frieren. I mean, and she also did Apothecary Diaries.
That's her solo.
Which is still her.
It's still her, but it's not Yoasobi.
I know, but still, it's the singer.
Yeah, but they do great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see more. I really can't wait to watch more Witch Watch. It's so funny. Banger opening. Banger concept I love as a premise, and it's just so funny, and I can't wait to see what else they can do and pull off, and what other magical abilities she's gonna pull from.
It looks like there's gonna be some epic shit in there too.
I know, and I'm excited to see what that is.
This is an anime that's gonna have like a little bit of everything in it.
That's such a great way to describe it.
Thank you.
I love that. All right, we're moving. I have 2 left. Is there more? What else are you?
4.
You have 4?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on to the next one, because I have no idea what you have.
Okay, whatever you don't do, I will.
Yes, you just throw it in. Zatsutabi, That's Journey. Okay. That's this is one you chose.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say the description of this one that the Crunchyroll provided. And an inspiring manga artist travels around Japan to find unexpected treasures. That is the short gist of it. We've only watched 1 episode so far, but I'm gonna let you go first.
It is calm and enjoyable. You follow this mangaka who can't seem to get any of her stories off the ground. That her proposals keep getting rejected. So she decides she's going to go on a journey. But she has people on social media sort of decide where she goes by asking them, like, I think, up, down, left, or right?
Yeah, in a direction.
Yeah, just a directional thing. And so she goes in that direction. And she ends up at, like this, in the first episode, like this hot springs town, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Right? And then, so she finds herself enjoying this calm little town. Is probably nicer and warmer weather, but it was cold now and there's not many people there. She gets a hotel room for the night, and then the next day she decides she's going to go visit a shrine. Finds that it's an unexpected journey just to get there. And
120,000 steps or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like over 1,000 steps, and it took her over an hour to get up there, and she's hoping for an amazing view, and there's nothing. And then she laughs because she worked so hard just for it to not really pay off in the end. And I think that's how she found the beauty in this journey.
Yeah, I really like it.
And I feel like this is going to lead her to actually getting a manga off the ground.
That or a very expensive hobby.
Oh yeah, she's got an expensive hobby now, and I'm excited to see where all it will take her.
Yeah, like you said, I love that she's going to go to these different locations that look very real, and I honestly think they are real locations. You could have fooled me, really, if that's the case. These must be real locations that she's going to, and they look almost lifelike. Like they took the pictures.
I feel like they went to these places, took pictures of them, and just made them look animated.
It's wonderful, and it'll look. And I like that she's learning about the culture there or the history of the town at the same time while she's just exploring and having these fun little journeys. And I'm hoping, and at least from the intro that I see from the first episode, it looks like she might bring more people along.
Yeah, it looks like some people might join her.
Which I think would be fun to see other people's reaction, and not just her. Not that you can't do that for 10 episodes. I mean,
you could, but it would sort of be the same with it just being the same person. If you bring friends along, and it doesn't even have to be the same people on every journey, you're going to have some different things, different point of views.
Yeah, and
different experiences.
And she's going to have all these experiences because she gets to do it with friends, possibly. So I'm very interested to see that take. And I'm glad you chose this one, because this probably would not have been on my radar if it wasn't for you to look at it and be like, let's watch that. And I'm like, okay, let's watch it.
Yeah.
So, because what we usually do is we tend to look at the list, and then you pick out some and I pick out some, but I mostly pick out the ones you pick out too. So it's like,
Yeah, you seem to pick them all out, and then I go through, and if there's any leftovers that pique my interest, then I pick them out. And this was one of those.
And I'm glad you chose this one.
Yeah, I thought it looked really charming.
Well, that is Zatsu Tabi. That's Journey. Check it out, guys, if you guys want something wholesome. Something with a little bit of adventure, and maybe self-discovery.
Yeah, self-discovery, absolutely.
Yeah. My last one is the one we got to kind of close the curtains on. So what are the other ones that you have?
Okay, so if I'm thinking, and I know this is sort of a continuation.
Oh, you're doing Black Butler.
Black Butler,
okay.
Emerald Witch Arc. This is my simp. Every time, okay, so we've seen 2 episodes now, and I'm like, honey, you need to get me all the manga.
You said that last night to me.
I think I said that last
There's like
too.
30 volumes.
I tried getting started on the collection, like back in like 2014, and then fizzled out. For some reason, I must have donated the first 3 that I had, the only 3 I had at the time. And now I'm back up to 2. So I just need more.
Well, if it wasn't for your apothecary obsession, you probably would have. That is important. I'm looking at them right now. You guys don't see them, but she has every apothecary book in Japanese and English. And that is like... God, what is that? Like 50 books right there I'm looking at? Maybe total? Ish. Don't do the math, it's fine. More or less about 50.
About 30, yeah.
Yeah. It's a hobby, so now.
But I figured like every payday, I might try to grab myself one Black Butler
You should.
manga.
That way you keep them up.
Yeah.
The entire bookshelf will be a Black Butler dedication now if you're going to get all 30.
I also need room for 7th Time Loop, the Story Bride, Noragami, Witch Hat Atelier, and Yakuza Fiancé.
Guys,
I should probably stick
first
to
world
digital.
problems, What can we say?
I should probably switch to digital.
Anyway, Black Butler, Emerald Witch Arc.
Perfection.
I'm loving, again, Cloverworks picked up Black Butler after Public School Arc, which has been amazing. Like, this is like the perfect team to do Black
After or forward?
Or forward since Public School, sorry. I think it's been the perfect studio to handle this thing.
They do a beautiful job.
It's so beautiful. Everything looks amazing. This art, I love each art takes place in a different like setting and location and problem. And this one's dealing with werewolves in Germany. And I love Germany so much. I actually took classes in Germany. Not in Germany. I took German classes in high school. So for about 2 years. So I know actually still German. I knew a little bit of German. It was a lot easier for me to understand German than Spanish because that was the only 2 options we had, Spanish or German. Actually, no, that and French, but I didn't want to do French. I don't know. It just clicked with me more and made me realize I could understand the language a little, a lot more than just Spanish. Kind of clicked with me. But anyway, Germany. Yeah. I like seeing Germany and everyone talking in Germany is really cool. Or in German. In Germany.
In Germany. Germany talking German.
I like seeing people talking in different languages in anime, and they do that really well with dub, specifically, especially with accents. I can't. Again, we haven't watched the dub for Black Butler Emerald Witch.
It's not out yet.
And it's not out yet, and it'll probably be out by the time this is out at some point. So we'll probably have different things to say at that point about it, but I just love the dedication to some people doing accents and maybe even doing actual German. Like, I can't wait to see Michael J. Tatum to do German.
If they're doing actual German with the Japanese voice actors, why not with the English?
Exactly. So I'm loving the setting, loving the mystery so far after 2 episodes, and I know this is more of a continuation, but
I had to talk about it.
I know you had to talk about it. It's okay. I think it's great. It's just more Black Butler. And it's been better than ever. It's better than ever. ever since probably Book of Atlantic.
Well, I think
Circus is great too.
Circus is amazing.
Book of Murder is great.
It's been great since Book of Circus, let's be honest.
I can't wait for more. I'm just hoping we get more because like they have over 30 plus books.
They have enough content, and I think it's finally coming back. The manga's finally coming back from hiatus. Yeah, like on the 18th.
Maybe they can wrap it up at some point, but by the end of it, I mean, if you guys don't know Black Butler, it's about a boy who's like the heir to his family's, lineage, legacy.
He's an earl.
He's an earl, as they say, because it's all British.
It's all British.
It's awesome. and he made a contract with a devil or a demon, which is obviously Sebastian Michaelis, and
it's just another one of those revenge stories.
And they want to go after the people that kill. Well, CL wants to go after the people, the Earl, after the whoever killed his family. So that's basically the premise of it. But like, he also just goes and does things for the Queen of England, and
he's her guard dog,
and does all these journeys and stories with Sebastian and his team. So it's just awesome.
Yeah.
That's the premise. If you guys don't know Black Butler at this point, I mean, check it out.
It'll either be your cup of tea or not your cup of tea. So.
Just depends on how Sebastian pours it.
Earl Grey.
It's your Earl Grey.
My favorite tea.
That's a perfect way to say it. Yeah. It's a perfect sip for you.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Perfect cup of tea. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to say about?
No.
Okay, what's the other ones? Because I don't know.
So the last two. I guess this is another continuation.
Which one do you have?
Shoshimin. How to be ordinary.
Oh, you have things to say about how to become ordinary.
Well,
okay.
we had a whole list.
Well, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, okay. So this is a continuation of called Shoshimin: How to Become Ordinary. It's from the creator of Hyoka, which I really liked Hyoka, but I love this show so much more for some reason. It's just these two people that are like brilliant, that have brilliant minds, and they just deduce these simplest mysteries, like how did they make a cup of Joe, or like a cup of hot chocolate or something?
How did they make 3 cups of hot chocolate with only 3 cups and 1 spoon? I think.
Yeah, or
the sink didn't even get wet.
Exactly, like that's
because he didn't wash anything that he heated the milk in.
And we're not going to spoil what that is.
No.
It's great. I just like the little the little miniest mysteries. They're so mundane mysteries that you wouldn't even care. But like for some reason, just trying to figure out what happened is the fun for me. But going into season 2 has set up this looming mystery instead of these little mysteries now, which I think like this. It was like a build-up. I feel like the first season really
totally built it up.
Yeah, because by the end of season 1, there's this huge thing that happens, just kind of left field almost. It's like almost like, oh, this happened, and it's like, wait, what? This happened? What? And just goes from there. And it's just, I've been really liking the chemistry between everybody, the mystery that's looming now in new season, and the new characters that were introduced by the end of season 1 into season 2. So, do you have anything to say about it?
I would have described it as maybe soft Sherlockian, but it definitely seems to be growing.
It's awesome, right?
So, yeah, I love the mystery and everything. It's fun. It's definitely very entertaining. But now I'm like wondering, what is up with Osuna?
I know, right?
She's just like the biggest mystery in there for me.
I'm really interested to see more of her character, because obviously she was prominent in the first season, and now obviously she's the main character in the second season as well. So it's just interesting to see what she is stirring up.
Yeah, she's totally stirring something.
Because she's a big focal point in the first season that I really appreciate. So I'm glad you're seeing basically the gem that I saw.
I've always seen it. It's just that it wasn't like my favorite.
Not your cup of tea.
No, it is like an enjoyable cup of tea.
Now this season's doing it for you.
I am definitely intrigued, because I'm like, what the fuck is up?
It's dealing like a fire conspiracy too. I really like seeing that.
And like these fire predictions and whatnot. And so I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm really intrigued to find out more.
Well, I'm glad you talked about it a little bit.
I think if you're into like a calm, interesting mystery, this is the show for you. Check it out. And
it's visually stunning too. It's so insane how beautiful it looks too. And I love the mindscape that they do with like when they're talking. We were watching the new episode this morning, and they did this really cool, and they do this in the first season too, when they're talking to somebody over the phone, and like the person that they're talking to is actually in the shot with them too. Like they're in the same room or in the same area. And I just find that so fascinating visually. Like Like just as like a concept, it's like, oh yeah, you don't need to hear them on the phone. I mean, I don't know, just for some reason it just feels like
on the phone and it morphs to like an in-person.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the phone.
I do enjoy that. That's neat.
And like some Mindscape thing. It looks a little like Mindscapey in some areas in the first season too, where they're like having these conversations and then they're kind of like talking about the mystery as if they were there, like they're living it. Like, I just find that so, like, they're reenacting it in their own mind.
Yeah.
And, like, the main character does that, too, where he's like, oh, this is how I would have done it, and this is probably what they did. As he's, like, deducing it, and, like, it's, like, him embodying them and doing it himself. And I was like, that's so cool. It kind of feels, like, Sherlockian, almost Hannibal-esque, where in, you know, the show of Hannibal, where he would, like, think what a serial killer would do, and he would be the one doing it in the show, to kind of understand what the serial killer was doing, to get into the mind of the person that is doing this, like that did the deed, you know? So I just find that so interesting. And I think that's what's really drive me to keep watching more of this, is like the mystery. And like, even if it's so mundane at first, and it's definitely ramped up now, love it. Yeah. So I'm glad you're now seeing the forest for the trees.
Seen it. That was just the one that I wasn't fully invested in.
And now you're invested now because you're season 2.
I'm more invested now. Yes.
So that was Sashimi: How to Become Ordinary season 2. I know we weren't going to talk about continuations, but that's one it's so unique.
I felt like it deserved it. And plus, we've been watching it too, so I felt like it deserved a little more of a mention.
All right, so we have one more left.
Now, it's not safe for work. So if you're not interested, now's your out.
Yes, starting in 5 seconds, because I'm about to. I need to turn off. I need to close the curtains and talk about. Please put them on Takamiin-san. Takamiin-san. I'm going to read the description. This is a very not safe for work. This is very not censored. Also, this is very ecchi a little bit.
Oh yeah, surprisingly not censored.
So
they drop everything.
Yeah. I'm just gonna read the description. She can rewrite fate by changing her underwear, and now a shy boy is trapped as her accomplice. That is a description on Crunchyroll.
Oh my lord!
And that is just the half of it, really. But you want to try to
pretty much blackmails him.
Oh yeah, he does.
Into being her closet. I call this show Goonerville.
Goonerville. It's definitely up there. So the premise of it is this not like this background character guy who just doesn't have anything to his anything worth of note on him, where he's like, he's a total background character. And then he runs into where he's like eating in the PE gym or something in the first episode, like in the storage closet or something, and he notices that she goes in, the most beautiful girl in school and the most popular, and she's also the president of the student council and everything, and it's Takamiin, and she's undressing, and he sees her chest and everything, and you see everything, and
it's like, how most anime, it's sort of like they're just wearing pasties because there's nothing there.
That's
not the case.
They drew the areolas and everything, honey. Yeah, so it's very please don't watch this with your parents. Don't watch this.
Close the curtains.
Lock the door.
Wear headphones.
Yes, definitely headphones. It's all in sub. This one's not getting a sub or a dub or anything. Thank God. I don't know how they would do that.
That's a bit awkward.
You would need to pay some really good people to do this.
Or like get newbies who are desperate for a job.
So essentially, this one is so since he saw her basically naked, he has the ability to like retain memory from the decisions she does. So she has this ability called the Eternal Virgin Road or something. Is that what you wrote down?
Yeah, on the previous page, since you already knew it, I decided not to write it down. Okay.
The Eternal Virgin Road, where she can basically alter she basically can just time travel and
she can change the past.
Yeah, and she's like the perfect student because she keeps changing the past by undressing herself in public.
It comes with a caveat.
She doesn't have the underwear anymore.
Her underwear disappears after she takes them off.
Yeah, she goes through so many pairs of underwear. That's a question you asked.
My question is, how much does she spend on underwear? Is it like a daily thing?
Probably a whole
amount. Weekly?
Probably her whole allowance.
She buys pretty looking underwear.
Like really expensive.
How expensive ladies' underwear is?
A lot, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't spend money on underwear.
No, you don't.
Or at least on girls' underwear.
No, getting the cute kind of underwear that she seems to be wearing. Like, especially since those seem like they came from somewhere like close to like Victoria's Secret or something.
For Japan, yeah.
Yeah. Those have to be a pretty penny each pair.
Yeah, so they're very like, they better be like fucking cheap, but they're not. They don't look cheap.
Yeah.
They look very visually stunning,
very
and
nice.
Especially when you're taking them off and putting them on.
It makes you wonder if the quality of the underwear has anything to do with their power.
I'm wondering, but we don't know. Obviously, we've only been 2 episodes in, but my God, is it like, it is Gunnar up the wazoo.
It's not just him having to hold underwear for her so she can like put them on after she
No.
She makes him put them on her, as like the title suggests.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't do it properly, he has to fix it. Which creates such an awkward...
It's so intense too. It's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen if she gets up and that the panties fall down if she doesn't put them on, if they're not put on correctly, and it's going to expose the whole school, and she's just going to blame it on him and basically blackmail him.
Yeah. He's in a terrifying situation.
Yeah, he's basically in a toxic relationship.
Oh, yeah.
That he doesn't want to be in.
Yeah.
So, it's very ecchi, it's very out there, and I'm all for it. I love it. It is not trash to me. I love it so much. I do want to point out the intro is very sexual. Like the singer is like, oh. Like that. It's like borderline almost hentai.
Yeah,
it's like almost there. It's like
almost there, especially with how he finished putting on her underwear
in the second episode.
Yeah,
you smiled like whole
oh my God, public. I was dying for him. I was like, oh my God.
Are you enjoying it though?
It's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable.
I'm like, how else are they going to? What other predicaments is he going to be put in? Just trying to put up.
It's going to be all. It's all because of her, really. She's going to be the one that's going to force him to do stuff.
So now I'm like, we've already seen what I expected the extent of the show to be. Essentially, what more can they do now? So. I'm curious to see how outrageous this gets.
I don't know if it's gonna. This one's not a drop for me. I want to see this till the end.
Oh, we're watching the full thing.
I just can't believe they made this. I was like, I cannot believe this is a show that is being made in 2025 that is basically borderline porn.
Yeah.
Almost.
You know what? More power to them, I guess. But we are so tight ass. I don't know what the term is.
Tight ass.
We are so uptight about shit these days that we can't let anybody enjoy shit. And if you want to enjoy some weird, funny, perverted fiction comedy thing, then go for it.
And you got Konosuba for that too.
Just don't show your children.
I mean, that's why we got Konosuba.
Yeah, but that's a whole different echelon.
Oh, that is a whole different echelon. Well, that was Please Put On... please put them on. Yeah, that was Please Put Them On Takamine-san. I cannot ever pronounce it. I'm butchering that. That's only on sub, by the way. So that one's a highlight for me. That's a highlight. That's my simp, honey. That's my simp.
You want to get stuff for that?
I wouldn't mind.
You want to carry around women's underwear?
Oh yeah, I would like a figure of her.
Nice.
That or Nico.
She'll probably be taking off her underwear if there is a figure of her.
If there is, I want one.
Yeah.
Where she's halfway down. They're halfway down.
Yeah.
Coming off.
That'll probably be
That or I'd like Nico from Witch Watch, because that's like another simp.
Oh, yeah. Nico over the...
And as the witch in training in that one, so that one's, I don't know. Those are my two simps. I'm gonna throw out two simps for this one. So, do you have any other simps other than Black Butler, obviously? And
I would say Witch Watch for sure. That one's great. It might be weird to say this, but it's just the anime as a whole. And Shirley.
You want an Anne Shirley figure, or you're just simping for? You're simping for Anne Shirley.
For more.
I'm simping for more too. We get 24.
I know. So I'm really happy.
Reading good.
Yeah.
And that's gonna bleed into like the summer lineup and everything too. So excited to see that. So, that's an episode, right?
That's an episode.
That's a podcast. That was those are our picks for the spring lineup. Highlighted ones, a lot of new ones. I'm really excited. I'm glad most of these were new. Obviously, some of these were continuations, but I like seeing these new ones that we got to highlight and see what we enjoy about them and see if you guys enjoy them. Let us know down below in the comments if you are watching any of these or planning on watching them now after we've talked about it.
All right.
And you want to wrap us up?
Thank you for joining us. Dewa mate.
Yeah. We'll see you guys for the next episode of We Be Simpin'. I'm Connor.
I'm Richie.
Bye.